Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. We're doing a series of stories on the important role that various types of chambers of commerce play in towns, including big towns like Houston, Texas. And we're going to be starting the first of that series here today. But do want to mention before we do that, today's program brought to you in part by our very good friends at Carlton Staffing. And I'm going to talk to Augie Campbell, and he is the president and CEO of the West Houston Association. And Augie, welcome to the program. How are you today?
Thanks, Kevin. I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Real quickly, kind of give us a little bit of background about the West Houston Association. Just the name alone tells you it's not quite a chamber of commerce, although you do the type of work that's somewhat similar to that. Talk a little bit about it.
That's right, Kevin. Yeah, we cover 1,000 square mile area that starts in West Houston near Memorial City Mall, and then we go out to downtown Hempstead, and then down all the way to where a lake's going to be in the future called Allen's Creek, and we're involved in transportation and infrastructure projects. So we like to think that we get the roads built out there and we get the water to all the houses. Or at least have a role in helping make sure that everybody gets what they need so we can move forward.
Talk a little bit about how you are similar with chambers.
Sure. A lot of our members are local businesses. We have members like Centerpoint and Houston Community College, and we also have a lot of developers like Wolf Companies and Parkside Capital and Misher.
Okay. In terms of size, you mentioned some really large companies. Is it something that smaller businesses are going to want to join as well, or is it kind of prohibitive, price-wise or for whatever other reason?
No, our dues are a little more than your average chamber of commerce, but we're aimed really at those companies who are looking at planning large projects from roads or water. And so, smaller companies are often interested if they have some role in that sort of planning. We have a lot of engineering companies and a lot of law firms involved in our organization.
As long as there's networking potential.
Right.
Let's just be honest, which is great. Absolutely. They should be interested and should pursue it if they can. Talk a little bit about the current economic environment out there. Obviously things were exploding. What I have read is that the area over there on the Beltway and Westheimer is going to be the future center of Houston. That may have been slowed down significantly by the oil bust over the last year or so, but I think that might be eventually the case, which puts you covering some pretty substantial, pretty important parts of town. Talk about that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Kevin, and growth is going to continue. Obviously, the blistering pace of growth that we've seen over the past 5 years will slow a little bit, but we still anticipate that over 400,000 folks and almost 100,000 jobs will come into the area over the next 5 years, and that's a conservative estimate.
Just a conservative one. Well, you got to love that. And talk a little bit about what areas, what industries are growing. Obviously, it was probably energy for quite a while. The energy corridor was in your space, and so I'm sure that has cooled down. What are some other ones that you're hoping rise to the top? I'm assuming healthcare is a player.
Absolutely, a number of hospitals for Methodist and Texas Children's have moved into the area. Memorial Hermann has expanded its presence, and so there are a number of hospitals that have already established campuses in the area and are looking to expand their presence. We also have the University of Houston that is looking for a location at West Houston, so education is going to grow. We also have a number of other private sector actors that are not necessarily energy companies, but are in other industrial fields that are really growing. I mean, you know about the Daikin campus, probably out in the area, that's going to be enormous. And so we're really looking forward to a lot of private sector growth in the area.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. How optimistic are you about 2016?
I think 2016 will be a bit slower than 2015, but home prices are holding, especially in key areas, and home development is set to continue at really almost 2015 paces. So we're optimistic, although I do think you will see, especially the higher end, slow down just a little bit.
So your area is really kind of interesting. I include the West Chase District and Houston West Chamber of Commerce. Jeannie Bellinger, a good friend of mine. You've got those two entities, and then your third entity, which I think probably says something about your area when you've got that kind of layers, if you will, of business development type organizations. Do you work cooperatively with those type of organizations? Talk a little bit about those relationships.
Absolutely. I was just meeting with members of the West Chase District yesterday, and actually we work with the Energy Corridor in Spring Branch near Northwest, also with the KTEK and a number of other chambers in the area. You may know Bruce Hilligeis. He's up in Tomball. We're working with him, just seeing what they're up to in the area and making sure that we're good partners as we're developing our area.
Yeah, very good. And are you the type of Chamber of Commerce organization? I know you're not actually a chamber, but in trying to bring businesses from around the country to your area?
That's not our focus. We want to make sure that when they get here, though, they have everything they need to succeed in business. Good transportation, good utilities, and all the ingredients that make a successful business community.
Augie, I appreciate your time. What's the best website to get more information about what you do?
Our website is westhouston.org, and we'd appreciate you coming on and looking at it.
All right, westhouston.org. Make sure you check it out. And again, thanks so much to Augie Campbell. Very Scottish-sounding name there.
It is a bit. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, glad to have you on. All right, when we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. Also want to remind you of the national TV version of the Price of Business show. You can learn more about that as well at priceofbusiness.com. Great video, great content that you can find over there. Also want to give our props to our good friends over there at videomojo.net who make it possible for us to produce our national program. Over 38 million homes across the country get the Price of Business TV show. All right, more for you after this on the Price of Business.